Hey hairdressers, I'm Cyd Charisse.
And I'm David Bosher, and we are Destroy the Hairdresser. At Destroy the Hairdresser, we are head over heels for Aura salonware. Why? Because Aura is the only salonware that flawlessly supports every one of the Destroy the Hairdresser game-changing methods. From station sharing and cashless payments to offering true scheduling freedom and more, Aura's got it all. Wrapped in a beautiful, easy-to-use package, it's perfect for everyone, whether you're an independent stylist or managing multiple salon locations. Plus, Aura's robust features help streamline your operations and boost your bottom line. Ready to elevate your salon? Visit aurasalonwear.com/DTH for exclusive discounts and start your journey today. Give your clients great hair with fewer products and make more money with less inventory. Introducing Hair Story, a mindful and innovative brand. Hair Story's game-changing product, New Wash, cleans and conditions without harsh foams or detergents, restoring your scalp's natural balance. Made with gentle, biodegradable ingredients and recyclable packaging, it's good for your hair and the planet. With Hair Story Pro, earn a 25% commission on client purchases either in person or online. Plus, enjoy free education, wholesale pricing, and special client discounts. Try New Wash for free and get pro access today at hairstory.com/DTH.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Destroy the Hairdresser, the podcast. And I have another special guest with us. I'm bringing on another coach to talk to you about some really awesome, incredible things, not only that are coming up, but just about her success story in general. But before we get into that, and before I introduce my lovely co-host, I want to remind everyone that we have the Hairdresser Hotline. We are here to listen to your voicemails, listen to your text, or read your text messages. A reminder that no one will be responding to you, but we are here. And if you'd love us to share your story on the air, on our podcast, and give our advice publicly, go ahead and text us or call us at 201-564-5007. And now, without further ado, I'd like to introduce my right-hand woman, literally could not live without her, Bek Sanders, who is the Director of Admissions for the Hype Hair Academy. And she is also our student admin over here at DTH / keep David and I completely on our feet and running and successful. Hi, Beth.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Me too. So we're going to jump right into it because I think it's so funny. Our students are going to love this, and maybe a lot of non-students, because so many people have talked to you over the years through our discovery calls, through email. Anytime anyone messages us for a question, they want a free coaching call, Bek is your person. Like, if you're a student and you have had issues, Bek is your person. So like our students listening to this, they probably don't know your journey. So I'm really excited for them to kind of get to know you on a personal level outside of like their payments or, you know, getting them hooked up with their curriculum or their dashboard or all of those fun things. And then I know people are listening that have had calls with you and maybe didn't sign up for coaching yet, but I hope this is the thing that's going to get them in there. But let's start from the very beginning. Tell us how you found DTH and what made you go, oh, no, I'm going to be a part of this.
So my position in the industry is really unique because I'm not a hairdresser. I didn't ever go to cosmetology school. I feel like I should get like an honorary degree at this point.
I agree.
But, yeah.
You know the industry probably better than most of us.
Hair. I can pretend I can pass as a hairdresser.
You cosplay as a hairdresser.
Yeah. I was working through a series of events, I ended up working and helping my mom operate the hair studio. And we were doing a level system structuring, and I have a bachelor's in psychology and a background in retail management. And I went into a small business and I was like, I feel like maybe these things could be a little more systemized. There can be better structure. We really wanted to center the hairstylist experience. And through that thought process, I came across the podcast and I started listening to.
I love that. No, cut to, what year was this? Do you remember?
So I started working for the Hype in the end of 2018. I think I came across DTH in 2019. And then it probably took a solid almost year of convincing to get Chris
Yeah.
to sign up for coaching.
And for those of you, if you're putting the connections together and you're an avid listener, Chris, Bec's mom, owner of the Hype Hair Studio, was on a couple weeks ago. So go listen to that episode as well. And what was it? Like, you listened to the podcast and you were just like, you were persistent. Because she even said in her podcast, she was like, she wasn't going to let this go. Like, and that's so, I can see it coming from a place of like, okay, my daughter's not a hairdresser. Why is she being persistent? Like, what was it that you were like, we have to make these changes or like, we're not going to survive in this industry?
Okay. So we were operating a 4-station salon and everyone was so busy. Like we couldn't take new haircuts. We definitely couldn't do new color services. We were slammed, booked out. Everyone was overworked. And then looking at the numbers, I was looking at the numbers and we weren't that profitable. So like I was identifying this piece of like, okay, we're busy, but where's the profit margins? And then hearing the concept of hourly pricing, things started to click of there is a way to smarter. And it really was for me. Yeah, it was the hourly pricing that really grabbed.
I love that because that's usually the thing that people are like the last thing someone wants to do. Like no one really comes in as like, I'm gung ho on that. It's like, we got to kind of work into the consciousness of it and like ease into it. I love that though. And you made a great point. And this is the biggest illusion in our industry that we have all accepted and believed is that busy equals success and profit. If you are busy, you are profitable. If you are busy, you are making money. And sometimes it's the complete opposite. It's like, I'm exhausted. I'm not making enough because there's so many nuances and factors. So I love that you were like, okay, we have to do this. Let's jump a little bit. You're now a student. Tell me about your student experience. Like, yes, we can talk about the changes that you made in the salon and things like that, but you also were coming from like a managerial perspective in the Hype. And so you had such a unique experience outside of ownership. And I say that for everyone listening because when you're an owner of a business, you are so invested emotionally, and not saying Bec you weren't because it's your mom and it's a family business and things like that, but it's different. And so you're invested emotionally. And then you get to this point where you're just like, any change seems terrifying. So you had a really unique role, which actually leads me into, we're going to get into why we brought you on kind of as student admin / coach. And we'll talk about what that role looks like because you had this unemotional relationship to our methods and our consciousness and our foundations that were like, this is how you do it. And then every time someone was like, well, what if you were able to respond? So kind of tell me about that a little bit.
Yeah. So since I'm not the one working behind the chair, I've never gotten to the point where I see any of the services that we do in the industry as easy. So I've never had to unlearn this relationship of if it's easy or I enjoy doing it or it's fun that I shouldn't make money at it. And I think you totally hit it of like my emotional experience of being in operations for a salon was so different because I watched my mom be an independent booth renter and then work out of, she had a salon on the side of the house. She was busy, but she wasn't able to build wealth. And when I walked into the Hype, that was my mindset of like, how is our team going to build wealth? How is the salon going to build wealth? And the emotional experience for me was different because I wasn't in it. I was able to have more of like an outsider perspective of like, ultimately this is a business. And what steps are we going to implement to strategize to make money? I think salon owners are really uncomfortable with this idea of making money when they have employees because they don't want to be like that boss. And I've always been with the mindset of like, I think you and David have said this. Why work for someone who doesn't know how to make money?
Yeah. If that salon's making money, it's a good chance you're making money unless they are just absolutely screwing you, which also does symbiotic. Happen. Yeah. No, you pull at my heartstrings a little bit because I'm also a daughter of a hairdresser. And, for anybody that's listening, that's a parent behind the chair or a salon owner, we are the voices of your children. Like, we have watched our mothers struggle. We have watched them cry. We have watched them hurt. We have watched them go into debt. We have watched them financially feel like they were in ruin over this industry and career. And your mom and my mom are the same age. So it's a whole different like hairdresser mindset from that age group versus where we are. And it's hard to watch. And so I think, you were probably, I know I'm speaking for myself, but I'm dragging you into this feeling and emotion as well. But like, I know whenever I really started to create the concepts with David and like really drive home Destroy the Hairdresser, a lot of it was emotional because I was like, I can't watch any more hairdressers quit the industry or end their careers like this. Like that something has to change. So there was this non-emotional, I mean, it was emotional, but there was also this like, it's a business. We need to make money. What are we doing? And you kind of had that mindset too, which is super powerful.
Yeah. And I do think, like I said, my vantage point of the industry, I'm so ingrained in it. Like I understand the challenges, the obstacles of working behind the chair. But because I've never been the one to do it, my perspective, it is unique. Like I'm in the industry, but I'm not the one doing the services. But I have
absolutely.
a soft spot for hairdressers and salon owners. Like my drive is really to help those folks.
Absolutely. Tell me about peeking behind the curtain and now fully literally being behind the curtain of DTH. We put out, I think it was 2020, 2021. Maybe it was 2021.
Yes, it was the beginning of 2021.
I'm like, everything's sticking, everything's blurring together. But we were like, we need more help. Everything was growing, our coaches, our students, everything. We still need the help. But we were like, we need someone. And you applied and someone else applied. And what's funny is that for what we were looking for, we hired someone else, but we were so like obsessed with you and the way you thought that we were like, we have to find a role for her. So like, we didn't even know what that was.
I didn't know this. This is news to me.
Well, Keely.
No, I didn't. Yeah. I didn't
Hi,
know
Keely.
that.
We love you.
Yeah.
But we were like, it was one of those things that I was like, Bec, we wouldn't be utilizing Bec properly if we threw her into the role that we were looking for. It was like very numbers oriented, like very like, let's just keep track of the subscriptions, very basic. And we really wanted someone that was like, no, I want to include my own perspective and ideas into the business. Like we wanted you to be part of the team. And so when I was just like, we also need to hire Bec. Like, and it's so funny because then you ended up absorbing that other role. Yeah. Keely went off to do really cool things. And now you do all of it. But that's the awesome thing. Like you came from a place of like now it's your own, like not one time where like we were like, we have wants and needs as business owners, obviously, but you're like, yeah, but like, what if I do it this way? And we're like, take it. But back to the original question, dropped a bomb on you. What is it? What was it like coming behind the scenes? You were a student and then you came behind the scenes in a administrative role, which is so different than when people go from student to coach.
Mm-hmm. Well, I am here to share all the secrets of Destroy the Hairdresser and tell everyone what happens. And honestly, there's no this.
It's pretty boring behind the scenes.
Yeah. Yeah.
We talk all day, every day, and I would say 45% of it is work and the other is,
Yeah.
Hot topic.
I would say was really profound to witness that the coaches, you and David, everyone who was on the team, were fully embodying the concepts of like consciousness, emotional intelligence, all of those pieces. It's not just lip service. Like this, the back end is ran the way that we coach salons.
Absolutely.
And so it's funny because I had a conversation with David recently where he was like, yeah, what like an incredible position to be in, to have a conversation when you're being reactive, to identify these things. And I was like, right, I forgot that that's not normal, quote unquote, or average interactions. And so, behind the scenes, it's coaches who are salon owners who are incredibly dedicated to their salons, their staff, and their students. And we do coach training monthly, and we have weekly meetings where we're focusing on challenges and wins and consciousness. Like working for DTH, you get into that really like stretchy space of challenging yourself.
And constantly.
Yes.
Even you as student admin, and that's why I want to share your role. Like, that's your official title.
Mm-hmm.
We honestly have to come up with something way better than that. Bec the superhero. I don't know, because, well, a couple things. Not only did you learn our entire curriculum, and as a manager, we're able to implement it in the salon. So you have that experience of every other student that goes through it outside of ownership. And then you came behind the scenes and you are dealing with student challenge after student challenge. And for a few years now, you've been doing our free coaching calls / discovery calls. So basically when someone's wanting to learn more about our program or just wanting some advice and seeing if we'd be a good fit for that, they talk to you. And essentially what happens in that call, and you can talk to our coaches too, but if you don't pick a coach, you're talking to Bec. And essentially what happens in that call is, like, it truly is a free coaching call. So not only were you part of all of our coach trainings, all of our meetings, still managing the back end, still being trained by myself and David, and had the perspective of a student, you went through the whole coaching journey without being a traditional DTH coach. So that when you're in those calls, you were fully coaching the students. Tell me kind of like what that's like when you get those calls, because you hear horrible situation, problem after problem in these calls.
Yeah, I do feel like I have a finger on the pulse of the industry, right? Like, because I'm talking to so many folks, and I do start off the conversation with letting them know, like, if you were to call, we would set up a discovery call. I let you know this is a coaching call. I want to know pain points, goals, and then we're diving into consciousness and strategy. And the intention behind that is to really give people a peek into what it's like having a coach. And often what I'm hearing is people who are salon owners or hairdressers, they're putting emotional strain on their relationships because they don't have anywhere to put these thoughts, this conversation. It's always talking about business with their spouse or with their friends, and then they're having to explain the hair industry, et cetera, et cetera. And then also hearing people who are killing it and they're looking for support. And then there's also people who are in dire positions and they're like, I don't know what else to do. And so I'm speaking to people who are experiencing the full gamut of salon ownership and genuinely and honestly telling them if Destroy the Hairdresser would be the right fit. Because on occasion, there are some folks where I'm like, I don't think this is what you're looking for. And then also pairing them with the coach that I think would be the best fit for them.
Yeah, which is so special. It's not just like you're signing up and you're getting thrown like in a salon where they're like, who's available? No. It's like, we've even had coaches that were like, I've hit my limit. I don't want any more new students, but the student would be so perfect for them. And you're like, can you take this student? Like, they need to be yours.
Yeah.
And they always say yes.
And honestly, I pride myself on the fact that once I was doing more of the calls, we don't have coach switches. Like, I feel like a master matchmaker. For those listening that aren't in the program, we offer so much freedom. Like, within our program, like, we don't hold you to a financial like contract. Like, if you need to leave the program, you can leave the program. It's no questions asked. And another thing too is we allow, like, if you're not vibing with your coach, like, let's get you fit with another coach. So there's a lot of freedom and flexibility and like your needs within our program. But I love what Bec said. It's like that happens less and less since you've been doing these calls, because you are the matchmaker of these students to their ideal coach and what they need, which is, that's powerful. And that just means you know our coaches like the back of your hand too, because and you've had coaching calls with our coaches to be like, where are you succeeding? Where are you, where do you need help? So then you know where to place these students, which I think is it's so special. Like, it really is, because if I'm investing in a program and it's a disruptive one where I know I'm going to be making changes and that it's going to kind of, shake things up a little bit. Like, I want to know that I'm with the perfect person, that they are invested in me, that they are prepared for me, that it's perfect. Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned that piece of like, someone signing up for a coaching program. DTH definitely has like a disruptive air to it in our marketing. But when I'm talking to people who are booking their free coaching call or discovery calls, I just really want to instill and let them know that we take coaching and the role that we have with these people and their businesses so incredibly seriously. Like,
Absolutely.
we understand the impact that these changes are going to have on you, your livelihood, your staff, their livelihood. Like, I think there is an impression that DTH comes in and we kind of flip everything upside down.
Mm-hmm.
And that is so
Yeah.
far from the
You
truth.
don't realize that everything got flipped upside down to like, I mean, it really is up to the student. Like some students are like gung ho
Let's do
and
it.
do a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
But sometimes like you look back after like a year, sometimes even 2 years, and you're like, my God, my business truly is flipped upside down. Like nothing is the same. It's not like we're coming in and we're like, get rid of that and throw that away and change this.
True.
And you know,
it's true transformation, and it's coming from what the salon owner is wanting to do.
And it's still up to them.
Yes, it's all based off of like your vision, your business, what works for you. Yeah, I talk to people and they're like, I don't know if I'm ready. And it's like the coach will be there to hold you accountable, and then we can assess readiness. Get
Absolutely.
Start working with a coach.
You know, I want to kind of go into your journey as a coach a little bit, because one of the reasons we were really trying to fit, we were like, okay, like Bec, you're so good at student admin. So of course, like selfishly, I don't ever want to lose you in that role. But I think you know you're good at it too. So you're like, okay, well, how can we do both? So there was this level of like, that can't be a traditional coach. Like usually the journey of a coach is you're a student and you implement the methods within your business, and then you transition into being a coach if that's something that you want to take on and do. I mean, and we obviously hire you. And your role was that I was a student, I implemented the methods, I learned them. So technically you could have gone into that role, but you had such a unique perspective as not a salon owner that I wanted you to have this way of like, no, I worked with all of the stylists in implementing their hourly pricing, transitioning them through station sharing, helping them with the removal of the front desk, helping them with even their unlimited time off, their freedom in scheduling, their freedom in pricing, everything that our students learn. You were not saying Chris wasn't, because Chris had to make the hierarchy decisions as a business owner. But
yeah, she's the owner. Like, yeah, it was all.
You were the face level of like, I'm working with these stylists. And so we essentially all of our methods collectively combined, we call the new Commission Salon. It's a new way of doing commission. We are very pro commission. We believe that it can be the fairest pay structure for both parties, salon owner and hairdresser. And so we have coined this the new Commission Salon, and we've actually started launching. We actually had our first launch in September, which was incredible. And then the next launch is in October. And you are actually teaching that cohort. And I'm so excited for that because, and we're going to talk about that because you get to like, I'm so excited for the salon owners to work with you because it's not emotional. Like the way that you coach is so powerful in the sense of like, when they come at you with like, well, what if the stylist gets upset and they don't want to do A, B, and C? Like, you're just like, you're the owner of the business. Like, and you give them advice of like, well, this is how we're going to handle this situation. This is the verbiage that we can use. This is how, so tell us kind of about the whole, kind of guide us in the whole wraparound of the new Commission Salon and kind of your role as a coach now teaching that.
Yeah. So the new Commission Salon, it really is like a concentrated immersive experience of DTH and the DTH methods. And I think that this pairs really well with one-on-one coaching or on its own. If you're someone who's wanting a fast immersive experience and like transitioning your salon and the concepts, the new Commission Salon is incredible for that. I also think it fits really well for someone who has a multi-location business or salons with business partners, because then everyone is learning all of the concepts at the same time. Or if you're someone who really strives or needs a lot of structure, because the one-on-one coaching is more your pace, getting things in with what's happening with your business. The new Commission Salon, we follow a structure. It's 10 classes over 12 weeks. My perspective on it is, how do I help you understand the consciousness and then lead to the implementation of these methods within that time period? And the other thing that I think is incredible about it is it's a cohort. And there is something transformational and profound that happens when you're doing coaching in a group. For myself, I feel like my perspective of ideas shifted when I was learning concepts through other people's experiences and us kind of being in that container together. So the new Commission Salon, I think, is very exciting. It's incredible. And I'm so thrilled to be hosting one of the cohorts because I've had an experience where I have brief moments with students. We have our 30-minute conversation. I pair them with a coach. I may see some updates and the transformations that they've experienced, but I haven't been able to like go through full experience with everyone. And I'm really excited to have that opportunity and have people in the cohort.
Yeah. And you know, something too, like our main thing is one-on-one coaching. And then we do group coaching within that. So every student gets their own coach and then they're in their own homeroom with their coach and that coaches students. But then we do like bigger classes where it's kind of, we're all together. We bring all the coaches students together. So it's kind of like we have a mixture of both, but we've never tried to do it where it was like group coaching first. And a lot of people were like, I just want to get in and learn from you all before I invest in coaching. And so we really were like, okay, like let's bring this to the table. The people that sign up, they can learn and grasp and digest and, you know, be sponges in this. And then through one-on-one coaching after that, they can start to implement. And I think that's the great part is there's no pressure to be like, okay, yeah, you're in this for, you know, 12 weeks, but that doesn't mean in 12 weeks, your whole business is going to be changed. Like you really have to have that moment. And something that we wanted to do differently was like, okay, we could open this up to the masses. And then we were like, how is that going to be beneficial? Like, I wouldn't raise my hand if there's like 20 people in a class sharing experiences. Like, I don't want to feel silly. And we wanted this to be one of the big things that, like, for me is so special about our community is that it is a community. People are friends, people have connected. So when we created the new Commission Salon and we launched it, we were like, we only want 5 students in it at a time. And so it's very intimate. It's small. You're working together. You're supported together as well as the coach. Tell me kind of about, you know, what that means to you, like why that aspect is so important.
I think with the one-on-one coaching, you're in a homeroom with fellow people, but you're all in different junctures of your experience with Destroy the Hairdresser. And with the class, with being in a cohort, it really is you're transitioning through these concepts together. I've experienced that on 2 different occasions. And personally, I'm someone who strives with group coaching. I do much better with group coaching. I learn differently, my perspectives. There's just something about learning the ideas with others and having like this shared experience in this place. And that's why I really wanted to facilitate the new Commission Salon with a cohort is because my personal experience with smaller cohorts and learning some concepts. I've done coaching. I've also done astrology in a cohort. Mm-hmm. And there's just a different experience to it that I really resonate with.
Yeah. No, I think it is super special. And like I said, I've loved situations where I was in a group setting and then transition to like, okay, like now I can bring everything that I learned in group settings or classes to my coach that is a one-on-one experience. So like I'm getting my individual kind of growth plan with that coach, which is so special. Bec, when is the next cohort? And tell us about that. When does it start? How long is it?
Yes.
All of the things.
The next cohort is starting on October 21st at 6 p.m. Eastern. They will be held on Mondays. It is 10 classes over the course of 12 weeks. And it is full on DTH concepts. We're very excited. We're diving in. Yes.
This is always the next question, but like, what if I can't make a class? There will be replays. You will be able to watch. But they're also, you know, what's so special is that you'll be pulled into, we use a chat system called Band. So you'll have like your own homeroom with Bec where you can ask questions throughout the week. Like, it's not like you just take the class and you're done. Like, there's like throughout the week, you can communicate with her, or there'll be guidance or consciousness to keep you on your path till the next class. So like, it's not just like, oh, you take the class and we're done. It's like, no, this is like, you have the class throughout the week. You'll be communicating. It's a whole thing.
It's igniting the beginning of your coaching journey. It's like
absolutely
a distilled down, concentrated starter point that's going to like set you up for success.
This is so wonderful. Bec, thanks for being on the podcast. We're going to have you back because I think there's so much more to talk about.
I'm like, yeah, we didn't even, let me go through my list of hot takes.
We should do like, David and I have joked about this for years of doing an after hours podcast and like doing a subscription where we kind of like bust out a little wine and just kind of like go for it. But we haven't done that yet. Mostly timing. But thank you again for sharing your experience. And you know how much we love you and the students love you over here at DTH. And again, the class starts when? Okay. And how can they sign up for the class?
So if you go to destroythehairdresser.com and you click on the new Commission Salon, we do have offers listed to join the cohort for the 21st. We do have payment plans, so you can take a look at that. Also, if you ever have any questions about anything, you can email me at bec@destroythehairdresser.com.
BEK@destroythehairdresser.com. Awesome. I'm so excited, and I have a feeling it's going to sell out quickly. We're starting promotions this week, so it's going to be so great. And yeah, thank you for being on.
Thank you.
Now, a word from our sponsors.
Let's face it, selling the same retail that every other salon is selling is not working anymore. It's time to take control of your retail sales and profits with Genesis Private Label. Genesis offers premium plant-powered formulations that are cruelty-free and clinically tested. Start your own line for just $1,000 and take your salon's brand and profits to the next level. As a DTH podcast listener, you get an exclusive deal on your sample kit, usually $149, now just $34.97. Visit genesisprivatelabel.com/DTH and order your sample kit today. Hey hairdressers, are you looking for health insurance? It's time to get healthy with Hairdresser Healthcare, the only coverage designed specifically for the beauty industry. Whether you're an independent stylist, a salon owner with a team, a makeup artist, or a massage therapist, we've got you covered with comprehensive and affordable benefits. With options for self-enrollment and year-round open enrollment, taking control of your health has never been easier. And the best part is, it's available in every state. Visit hairdresserhealthcare.com and take control of your health today because your team